All right, hello and good evening, folks. This is Garrett Schaefer with Don't Get Me Started. It is after midnight, January 13th, 2021. Here tonight to talk about what's important going on in the world. We obviously witnessed some crazy stuff recently in the Capitol and are now watching an outgoing administration with literally just a few days left on the clock, somehow witnessing also people trying to impeach this outgoing administration with such limited time that it seems like it's going to be, I don't know, almost inconsequential. Like, I get the whole Trump is, he's still got his finger on the nuclear button thing and da-da-da-da-da. It just seems, this is so much, what's the old saying? The horse is already out of the barn door. Like, he's going away. It's, the damage has been done. It's such a short period of time. True, who knows what he's going to do, but in 4 years, he's proved he's nothing but incompetent. And I really doubt if he tried to do some crazy stuff, that anyone around him would actually allow it at this point. Like, we have seen even his most sycophantic and just aggrandizing supporters like on their knees begging for forgiveness now. So it's everything they did was just all bluster in front, and they definitely had reason to believe they could accomplish what they set out to accomplish at the Capitol recently, because we are now finding out there was so many people within law enforcement, Congress, Senate, who were not only supporting this but encouraging it, abetting it. Like, there was videos of Congress people at public events saying, we're gonna win the fight, like, get down there and raise hell and show them that they're not gonna stay around. And that's some of the softer language, but like, this was a call to arms by Trump's people. They wanted an insurrection, and that's what they got. The reason they were able to get as far as they did was apparently because of how many people they had on the inside. Capitol Police completely stood down. The Department of Defense completely told the National Guard to stand down forever. Everybody, the first 10 minutes this was going on, I was like, if this was Black Lives Matter trying to just gather around the Capitol to say Black Lives Matter, the police presence would have been tenfold, and people would already be violently arrested. Press would be getting shot in the eyes, as they were all year every time Black Lives Matter happened. The police put on their full display this year about how effective they can be against any type of issue, even the most peaceful one. But when their actual job is to prevent, chaos and violence, and a group arrives at the literal heart of the country, the heart, like everything that happens there matters, apparently. I don't put it on as such a high pedestal as some people do, but it's significant for whatever reason. The fact that a bunch of really, really simply armed, uninformed people were able to create such a problem against if you were at all aware of the amount of resources that go into policing and security around the Capitol, because of the fact that that's where, the president of the U.S. has always been, and we've done everything, and that's what the place we have to protect most from foreign invaders. The ability of these people to get as far as they did is a complete tell as to how much law enforcement is with fascist ideas and stood down and let everything happen. The videos are there. The parlor chats are all there. We now have, tons of information on cops who were there. So That's my little intro. Let me go over my bullet points. I'm still figuring out the format of the show, but if you like it, click the like and subscribe. I am definitely going to have some whiskey while doing this because I don't know how anybody's sober right now. Okay. What happened today that kind of shook me? AOC mentioned that it was a very real possibility that people could have been assassinated had another layer of security broken. Like the people were in the building. They were there with weapons, damaging property. All these people were shuttled into what I'm guessing were the underground tunnels they always speak of, or super secret private, panic rooms and stuff. But a very interesting piece of information that came out that just creeped me the hell out was by Senator Cori Bush, a newly elected Democratic woman of color, who was speaking about her office that she was escorted back to when all of the people were being told to, go to their safe spaces. Her office had the panic buttons removed for no reason. And she said she'd had it before, she'd used it before, and this day when she went into her office, it was gone, and for no apparent reason. And we now are seeing more and more reports coming out about, Capitol law enforcement were directly involved in this. There were people who took the day off from the Capitol and from policing to be a part of this mob. And neo-Nazi police are everywhere. That we also today found out the head of literally New York Police Department's Equal Opportunity Division, the guy who's supposed to be in charge of making sure they're not racist, was a full-blown white supremacist who was constantly spamming racist propaganda online. It's so hard to be consuming all of this information and seeing people still try to both sides this or think stuff isn't that bad, because a lot of us have spent the last 4 years saying this is fascism delivered to America. We're fortunate that it's being delivered by an incompetent buffoon, but the next election cycle could see, someone slightly more competent. What if Pompeo or someone suddenly decides, I can steal that crowd, and Pompeo is all about nuclear war everywhere. And he's been involved in starting multiple wars successfully throughout his career. He's involved with all of the intelligence communities that Trump denounced during his career. That's why Pompeo buddied up to him, so he could be like, hey, I'll be your guy, even though I'm not your guy. But the point is, as I've been saying for the last over a decade now, white supremacists are absolutely empowered in this country, and everything about how this country runs is designed through white supremacy. We're lucky we have a few concessions at this point, but at the current standing, well, let's just look at what's going on with Flint. Governor Rick Snyder is finally being charged. It's been 6 years. 6 years. And we knew 6 years ago, or we finally found out 6 years ago. It had been going on for longer. We finally found out 6 years ago that Flint's water was completely poisoned, and that not only did they know, but they worked to cover it up so their friends could profit. This led to an entire community of hundreds of thousands of people, mostly children, who were damaged by lead poisoning. Now, lead poisoning in any, amount of, around what is being discussed was regularly exposed to people causes an estimated 15 to 20% IQ decrease. The scientists who were studying it were saying, yeah, no, this is causing IQ point drops drastically. It's causing, every type of neurological disorder, every type of emotional disorder, every type of cancer. And it's been 6 years. Obama showed up, drank the water, told people there was nothing to worry about. Elon Musk said he'd replace the pipes. He never did a damn thing. Never, ever, ever think Elon Musk is here to be a good person. He's a spoiled, rotten, rich kid piece of shit. Sorry, I digress. The reason it's been 6 years may have been that it was such a big case to build. This is just my own speculation. But the reason it took 6 years to get this issue finally charged, and it's being done now, right at the, the 11th hour of the Trump presidency. I think it was, I'm just guessing here because it's just very weird that I thought nothing was going to happen. And then now it's happening right now. Somebody did want to go after this. This may be some, attorney general, some lawyer who wants to make a career off of it, but realized that trying to go for someone who was, I guess, okay with Trump or Trump neutral, or if they tried to make a big issue out of this, Trump would have gotten behind Snyder for sure. Now that Trump's going down and we're bringing in a Democratic just overturn here everywhere. I think someone feels very empowered right now going after this. It's just all the stuff that's happening right now with all the people who've been standing down for the last 4 years because they knew that if they tried to file something publicly, it would go nowhere. I'm very curious as to where this is going to go now with a lot of these other... Let's see what other lawsuits and charges come out against other people, because I'm starting to sense that there's a confidence amongst people in the know that Trump's about to get really, really screwed, and so are all of his supporters. And it depends on how hard the Democratic committee we currently have, most of which are Republican light at best. So fingers crossed on that one. Even the squad is behind Pelosi in changing their language from Medicare for all to health care access, which is the forbidden word. No, universal health care, Medicare for all or nothing. That's the reason we put you in there. If you're not going to fight for that, get out of the way. Let someone behind you do it. You spoke about being a one-term congressperson, AOC. So you fought for it. Get out of the way. Let someone else step in who's going to fight for the thing that we elected you to fight for. Okay? Because that's getting old. Cool. So I think that's about what I had to do today, just to, as a wrap-up. This has been Garrett Schaefer with Don't Get Me Started. Like, subscribe. Check it out next time.